in for a wonderful interview. And then, of course, after that, you get a special Kev on the radio.
That's right.
Afternoon.
Yeah, long afternoon.
Nice mix of music.
We're good.
Yeah. All right. Well, we have a special guest, especially people that love animals, which we're in Colorado. Everybody does.
And then we love the people that take care of our animals.
Exactly. And one big thing recently, especially in Colorado, is adoption animals. So we have a special guest, Jacy Stamps, who is the manager at Everyday Adoption Center. How's it going, Jacy?
Doing really good. Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for coming in. This is awesome. Well, let's get started. You work for Animal Friends Alliance.
Yes, you bet.
Tell us a little bit about them.
Yeah. We're a nonprofit shelter. We're based out of Fort Collins. So we are adoption guarantee. That means that a big part of what we do is, of course, this adoption portion. And at any point in their lives, animals can come back to us. We're really dedicated to supporting those pets for their whole lifetime. In addition to this, we've got all sorts of community resources that are designed to keep pets in homes. So adoptions is, of course, a big part of what I do and what I love to talk about. But we're also really passionate about all those other pieces as well. So our public clinic and our public kibble program for folks that might have trouble affording those services, everything that you can imagine, we're doing our best to keep those pets in home and keep them happy where they're at. So that's a little bit about what we do. And in 2024, we did about 3,500 adoptions, and we're on track to exceed that this year. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah, definitely some really lovely stuff just to get all those kiddos into homes. And yeah.
And that 3,500 adoptions, that's not just here in Colorado.
That's just here in Colorado. Wow. That's just in Fort Collins. Yeah.
That's just Fort Collins?
Just Fort Collins, yeah.
Oh, my goodness. I think that Fort Collins is just like overwhelmed with like all these animals right there. Well, personally, dogs, cats, both. What do you like?
I have both. I gotta say, I love both. I may be more of a dog person, but I've had my cat right now for 18 years, and she's special to me. So
holy cow,
18 years.
Yeah, that's an old cat.
Do you find that like seasonal adopting, like around the holidays?
Yeah,
that's kind of a problem, isn't it?
I think it kind of can come and go. Summer tends to be a really busy season for us, actually. We definitely see an uptick around those holiday seasons. It's when people start thinking about it. It's just a time for us to have more conversations about, what a commitment animals are. I would say that we definitely don't see more returns around that time from those adoptions, which is great. Definitely can see some seasonal trends, but just a time to talk with people more about, the commitment that's
good. That what it really does entail.
But that's what we're there for, right? Is to just support them on their journey and have those conversations at the time of adoption and after adoption. So, yeah.
And it seems ridiculous these days to pay thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
For a puppy or a kitten.
Going through like a breeder or something.
It's just like it's some sort of status symbol or something. I just don't understand it when there's so many
pets out there that need a home.
Just be adopted.
Exactly.
Rescued.
So what is like the main difference? There's probably a lot of adoption places out there. What makes Animal Friends Alliance stand out and Everyday Adoption Center?
Yeah, great question. I think our community pet resources are really what make us a special organization to me, and is why I've stuck around at this organization, amongst many other reasons. But it's one of the things that I love the most about us is all of those things we're doing. So I mentioned briefly we have a public clinic. So we're, of course, doing all the veterinary care for animals in our care, ready for adoption. But we also have some really high-quality subsidized services for members of our community. They're open to anyone. You don't have to be income qualified. It can be animals adopted from us or animals that are already out in the community. So our goal is to get those animals vaccinated and spayed and neutered so that we have healthy, fixed pets in our community. We have a kibble program. Again, that's free pet food. We distribute thousands and thousands of pounds of free pet food every year. Again, to keep those pets in homes, because if that's the reason that someone's having to surrender, that's an easy problem to fix. And so I'd always rather do that. So I think those sorts of services are what really make us stand apart. And they're certainly not exclusive to us. There's so many organizations that do really great work just like this, but it's something that I am really passionate about when it comes to what we do, for sure.
And spay and neutering is definitely big. You're probably. Do you remember Bob Barker?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Okay. I didn't know. After every single show, he's like, make sure to spay and neuter your pets.
That was his tagline.
Yep. He knew what was up. Absolutely.
Yeah, I remember hearing that when Drew Carey took over, Bob Barker personally asked him, please continue that tradition, and he did.
Does he?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever watched Price is Right with Drew Carey.
Either have I. I kind of cut it out after
Not since
Bob
I was
Barker.
like sick from high school at home.
That's the only time you watched it. Yeah, when you're sick at home.
Now, tell us a little bit about the Prevent a Litter Plus program.
Ooh, yeah, great question. Our PAL Plus program is our kind of income qualified program, and this provides free spay neuter and preventative health services to members of our community. So even though all of our services through that public clinic are subsidized, they're designed to be very accessible to folks. We know that sometimes those prices are still going to be a barrier, and we still want all the pets in our community to be fixed, to be up to date on those vaccines, keep them healthy. So that PAL Plus program is serving those individuals that just need that additional support. So last year we had over 800 PAL animals served through that program. So that's 800 animals that otherwise likely wouldn't have been able to access those services. And that's, again, focused in the Fort Collins area. So definitely that program is making a huge impact for those pet owners and is something we're really proud to be able to offer.
Oh, wow.
Excellent. I'm looking at a picture of Luther on your...
He's the cutest. Oh, talk about
looks like trouble
big,
to me.
giant noggin. He's a go boy. We love Luther. He's a staff favorite.
And is he still up for adoption?
He is.
Good.
He is. Yeah.
How old is Luther?
He is a couple years old. Nice middle age. He's out of that puppy stage. He's been in foster, so he's used to living in a home. He kind of knows the routine. So it's a special plug for Luther.
Yeah.
He's a great boy.
Good looking boy.
Nice. Yeah, and so tell us about this clinic too, because the Mulberry Public Clinic and all the services that you provide, especially to the cost for pets, is just insane. Now, I actually can't believe it, because I mean, now you even have pet insurance. When I was growing up, that was not a thing at all. So tell us a little bit more about that in the Mulberry Public Clinic.
Yeah. The cost is definitely super high, and we know it's important to keep our pets up to date on all the things, but it can totally be pretty prohibitive. So we do those surgeries, spays and neuters, again, designed to be subsidized and accessible to people, make sure that they're not having more accidental litters in our community. And then we do vaccine clinics on a regular basis, and we do those both out of our Mulberry Clinic, so kind of a drive-through style, designed to make it super accessible and easy for folks. And then we have off-site events as well, where we're hosting those vaccine clinics out in the community so that they're even more accessible to people that might need those services. And we just wrapped up our Healthy Pets Clinic, which is another outreach event where we're bringing those services out into a community. The goal is, again, just to be accessible and providing those services to people who need them. So that's a big part of what our team down on that Mulberry Clinic is doing, and they're doing great work down there. They work hard.
You guys throw a lot of events.
Yeah.
Looking on the website, and for all of our listeners on the radio, if you can switch over to the K4CO social media platforms, and you can see all of our beautiful faces. But on the radio, you can go to
And Josh's.
and mine, savinganimalstoday.org. Savinganimalstoday.org. That is the main website for Animal Friends Alliance.
Yep, you got it.
Direct phone number there is 970-484-8516. But on the website, you have a calendar of events. And you click on the calendar, you have a lot of them. I mean, weekly events too. So tell us a little bit about, you have Saturday is a big day for you guys.
Saturday is always a big day. Saturday is a great day to adopt. If you're up in the Fort Collins area, if you're willing to make a little bit of a drive, every Saturday we are at the PetSmart in Fort Collins. We're bringing adoptable cats, lots of kittens, puppies, adult dogs. We're bringing it all. We hang out for a few hours. Those events tend to be really busy and successful and are so much fun. So if you've been thinking about adopting, those are always great to check out if you're in that area. So we're there every Saturday. just for those adoption events. And then we are doing some sort of community event, it seems almost all the time as well. So our big one coming up is our Run for Fun. That's our fundraiser 5K. Even if you're not a runner, I personally am not a runner, but
you can walk a 5K.
Exactly. We've got the fun run as well. So
that's what I'd be doing.
And,
Only run when chased. Run for Fun Spooktacular is what it's called. I'm looking at it right now.
Yep.
Ooh, the Halloween themed 5K.
Yeah, we'll have a costume contest. So lots of fun. It's up at Odell. So, I mean, there's something for everyone up there for sure.
So you're not going to be in the 5K or 10K run, but are you going to dress up? Are you going to go?
I might, yeah, go dress up, walk around a little bit. I can take a leisurely stroll. That's up my alley for sure.
Okay. Can you tell us what you're going to dress up as?
It's a great question. My friend group and I are doing Scooby-Doo this year, so I'll be rocking it as Daphne.
That's awesome.
Very cool.
Style.
Services, or actually, I want to go through this first. The website also says that people can foster a pet.
Yeah.
So what is that for? I mean, is it for people who just want to help out, volunteer, just to have a pet every once in a while? What, like lease a pet?
Well, we were talking a little bit about it earlier. She explained it really well.
I was just trying to pitch it to you because I think it is a great way if you love having a pet in your home, but you're not interested in that full-time commitment. Maybe you travel a lot, maybe you work a lot. It's a great way to just get the cuddles in. We're really flexible with kind of whatever works for you. So our foster team is based out of the shelter in Fort Collins. Currently in our care, we've got about 350 animals. About 230 of those are in foster. So our fosters are doing such important work. It's how we're able to care for the number of animals we do. A lot of it is the cute stuff, right? It's the little tiny kittens that aren't quite old enough to be adopted, and same with puppies. It's also really huge for our dogs. The shelter's not always the most fun place to be, so it gives dogs a nice break from that shelter environment, gets them some experience in a home. So yeah, our foster are just, they're lifesavers. I mean, the work they do is so important, and we're really super lucky to have all of them. But it's for everybody. We make it accessible. We provide you with all the supplies, so no skin off your back, just a little time and love for them.
How long do people generally, on average, foster a pet?
Kind of depends. Well, if people do shorter term, maybe a couple weeks or so. Some folks are dedicated and can be in it for the long haul. If there's, some dogs might be with us for a couple months or something like that. That's the rare case, but it's totally flexible for whatever works for people in terms of time commitment. Yeah.
See, I feel I would get attached.
Yeah.
And wouldn't want to let it go.
Exactly. You have a dog for a little while, get really attached, and then it's like, bye.
But she made a great point earlier off the air. She's like, well, it's all kind of sending your little puppy or kitten out into the world.
Right.
After you help foster it. So I can see that too, but I think I would just get a little attached.
You'd probably have to have a lot of repeat then, because right when that dog leaves, you'd be like, I need another one.
Yeah, well,
we can always fill you back up.
Something you need to be cut out for, that's for sure.
Right. National Adoption Week is coming up.
It is, yeah. National Adoption Week is a great time to adopt if you've been thinking about it. I'll plug my location for a little bit. So we just opened up this Everyday Adoption Center up in Westminster. And so that's where most of our National Adoption Week activities will be going on. It's from October 20th to 26th. Our social media and our website will always have all the information for those types of events. But I'm cooking up a fun week of stuff for sure. So that's something to stay tuned for.
Nice. That's coming up. And the Everyday Adoption Center, 10460 Town Center Drive, correct? Yep. In Westminster. Now, the Everyday Adoption Center is a branch or kind of a partnership.
Yeah, it's a partnership. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's in partnership with PetSmart Charities. These little facilities are super cool. If you've been in a PetSmart store and you've seen like the boarding space that they have, a lot of stores, different parts of the country, weren't seeing as maybe much traffic there and decided they were going to convert those into adoption centers because it's all pretty much the same layout, right? You need pretty much the same stuff. So our store happens to have both. We've got all of the facilities inside that PetSmart, but tucked away in the back of that PetSmart, it's right off that Church Ranch exit from Highway 36. We've got a whole little adoption center back there. So we're inside the store, tucked away. We get to utilize that space, but it's fully staffed by Animal Friends Alliance, so by my team. And so we're there every day of the week, taking care of the animals, facilitating adoptions, chat with members of the community. folks come in all the time just to get their fix of puppy and kitten cuddles, so that's what we're there for too. But yeah, it's a really great, convenient location for folks. Of course, that store is fully decked out with all the pet resources, so it's been a great place to be.
And as far as how people can volunteer and help, they can get a hold of you through your website, of course.
Yep.
Tell us what volunteers get involved with.
Yeah, everything under the sun. Our volunteers are doing also such amazing and great work. I'm currently working on getting our volunteer program up and running for down here. So if you're local to the Westminster area, stay tuned, send me an email. I'll get you on my list of kind of our early group. But up at the shelter, they're walking dogs. They are helping with all of our cat care. They're giving them all socialization and love. We've got outreach volunteers that are helping at our outreach events because that's all important as well. And maybe you're more of a behind-the-scenes person. We've got admin volunteers that help with all of our super fun, paperworky kind of stuff.
Oh,
right?
sounds really fun.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh. But there's a need for everything, so any skill set we're putting to use. But, of course, all the animal care stuff and hanging out with them is the most fun. So.
Right.
Yeah, definitely.
I would think the most is people who just want to be around the pets.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I'm more than happy to facilitate that for people.
What goes into, I grew up with two of the greatest golden retrievers on earth. My heart absolutely broke when we had to put them down. So I've never owned a pet since then. So I don't know much about adopting a pet. What goes into adopting a pet? I mean, I'm sure you can't just walk in and be like, oh, here's a duck. What is the process for people?
Yeah, that's a great question. We follow a pretty open adoption policy. I always figure folks can tell me far better if they're ready to own a pet than I can tell them that. So we take a really conversation-based approach to our adoptions. So yeah, absolutely. If you've never thought about owning a dog before and you walk in today, it's the first time you're thinking about it, we might have some conversations in place first. But my goal is always just to connect you with a pet that's going to be the right fit for you. Even if you are a first-time dog owner, I guarantee you we have a pup that is going to be right up your alley and will be the right speed for you and kind of be what you want. So I'm always trying to guide people through that conversation of telling them what to expect, and that it's like matchmaking. I call it matchmaking process. So doing a little matchmaking to the right animal. So if you come and visit our facility, it's a great place just to kind of look around and check out because it's a pretty casual stop-in kind of environment. So visiting is always the first step, connecting with an animal. And then we just get to talk about what you're looking for and what your expectations are and whether or not we're kind of on the same page about those things. And then from there, we try to make the adoption process easy for people. You know, we're in the business of making sure those animals are going to loving homes that are excited to have them. And I want to facilitate that for people. So it's a pretty easy process once you get going. But yeah, just a lot of conversations with people.
Once again, we're sitting down with Jacy Stamps, manager at Everyday Adoption Center, and this is through Animal Friends Alliance. You can always go to savinganimalstoday.org. If you are watching on our social media sites, and if you have a question or anything like that, feel free to comment. Our producer just alerted me to a question for you that I wanted to throw out there since they're watching. What about vet visits, and how can you help out on that?
That's a great question. Well, if you're adopting from us, there's a couple different kind of avenues for this question, but if you're adopting from us, we of course are providing all sorts of resources to you post-adoption, and one of those is options for a free first vet exam. We know that adding a pet is, it's not always a cheap decision, so at least get that first one under your belt, get you established, so you always get that free exam at a couple different location options. The Banfield's right next door to us, and they have a certificate they provide, so couldn't be easier than that. So that is always a part of our post-adoption support that we're providing to people. But even if you already have a pet in your home, those public services that we're operating up in Fort Collins, those are open to anybody. You don't have to be, like I said, qualified or a previous adopter to go there. So those are definitely always an option. And I think expanding those services is something that a lot of organizations are thinking about and is on our horizons as well. So just something to stay tuned on, because I know that vet portion can be substantial, it can be hefty, but
especially these days, definitely. And you even mentioned surgeries like before with getting them fixed. But are there other surgeries, like if something happens to the dog where they need extensive surgery, they need more involved surgeries that can be helped out with?
Yeah, not currently an offering
Okay.
we have, just because we are, limited by what we can do
Mm-hmm.
with our staffing. So definitely is something I think we would love to continue to expand in the future. But right now we stick to kind of those preventative surgeries and services. So that's where we're specializing.
That's where the insurance comes in.
Yeah,
And that's where
exactly.
the insurance comes in. Absolutely.
Yep.
I had to get doggy surgery. He had an issue with his ear, and it is not cheap. I mean, it's ridiculous. You really have to commit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
When I grew up, there was no such thing as
I know, it
dog
was-
insurance.
no, not at all.
It's nuts. So you have, well, wait, did you tell our audience how many pets you have in your house?
Well, in our household currently, we've got 2 dogs and 3 cats, so we're full up. I'm always telling people, they ask how I don't just adopt all of them. How do you not just take them all home? And the answer is because I've got a full house.
Right.
So
Yeah.
keep it full. You can't pack any more in. But
I don't think you can have any more on that. Going back, how long have you been with Animals Friends Alliance?
I've been here for 2.5 years.
2.5 years. Can I ask what brought you to them? I mean, what made you start with this?
I started shelter stuff generally in high school. I was 14 and loved dogs and didn't know what to do with that, so I started volunteering at a shelter. And so I really can't recommend it enough because it's how I got here today. I loved it so much. So I've tried some other things, but it was always what I came back to. And when I was in college, I thought I might want to go to vet school. Seemed like it'd be pretty cool. So I was doing an internship actually in our public clinic, our Mulberry Clinic, when I was in college. And I liked being there. I liked the organization. I wasn't so crazy about the vet part of it. I decided that was maybe not for me. So I ended up deciding vet school is not my path. But this organization that I'd connected with, I mean, it was so amazing to get to help those pets and connect with those pet owners. And talking to the people is probably really what drew me into it. And I just loved that part so much that I kept keeping an eye out for open positions over the next couple of years and got lucky with timing and worked in adoptions up in Fort Collins for a couple of years and absolutely loved it. So that's how I ended up here. It's all I can really imagine doing at this point.
So you love what you do.
I love what I do. I could
Sounds like
talk all day about this.
sounds like a calling.
I'm so passionate about my field, and I love the organization and the team. I mean, I couldn't ask for better coworkers, and my staff's all amazing. So
Nice.
I can't gush enough about it, actually.
Yeah. You can't really be a bad person if you love dogs and cats and want to work in a field like this. So I imagine it'd be a great team.
Yeah. Well, what's so cool is, people come to the shelter from kind of all different places. It's a lot of people work, it's a lot of animal work, but it's also a lot of people work. We all have something in common. We all love animals in some way, cats or dogs. So it's cool to always have something in common with the people that are coming to work. It's really cool.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you personally help families pick out dogs right there with them and show them dogs and everything? Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
I did it just last night. I was working over at our Everyday Adoption Center, and I had a couple come in. They'd come in a couple times before. They'd almost adopted a dog, and then he ended up getting scooped up by another family, and they'd been thinking about it because their pup is on the older side, and they want to make sure that they always have a dog at home, So they'd come back through again, and we had this sweet little pup. Her name is Layla, and they just fell in love with her before they even met her, I think. And I got to get her out of her kennel and have them cuddle with her, and you could tell within a couple minutes that they were gonna. That was the dog for them. And so we talked for a long time about Miss Layla and what she needs, and she was just perfect in everything they were looking for. And so I got to see them through that whole process, and she got to go home last night. So that's a big part of what I do. Those are my favorite days, absolutely.
When they finally get one.
Yeah.
Where do all these animals come from? I mean, you're rescuing them from somewhere, right?
Yeah. A little bit of all over. So we do take some public surrenders from folks that can't care for animals anymore. That can be for a whole variety of reasons. A lot of our cats coming in through our community cat program. So if you're familiar with the concept of TNR, trap, neuter, release, We're doing a lot of that work up in Fort Collins. So community cats are like stray or feral
Yeah, I was
cats.
just
Okay.
looking at that
Yep.
on your website. The
Yep,
barn
so-
cat, feral cat.
Exactly.
You'll even take care of that.
Yep. So we want to mostly make sure that those cats are spayed and neutered and not making more kittens. And when we do find kittens, usually we get them early and we can make them really friendly, and then they get to go and be great pet cats. So we served, I think, around 12 to 1,300 community cats last year. So that's bringing some of those in for adoption, including friendly adults. Sometimes those cats do not need to be living outside. They would be perfectly happy on someone's couch. So bringing those guys in. And then for the ones that are adults who are just not crazy about being around people, it's so stressful to bring them into a home. So the best option is to get them fixed, vaccinated, make sure they're healthy, and then let them continue to live their outdoor life without making more kittens, which is the goal. So a lot of our kittens come from that program as well.
And do you know anything about the puppy mill status? I know they cracked down on that maybe a couple years ago. Is that still a thing? I mean, as far as, back just not long ago, if you went to a pet store, it was rumored that most of those pets were from puppy mills,
Yeah.
not a good place.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think even the government stepped in at some point and did something. I don't know exactly. Do you know anything about the status of that anymore?
Yeah, it's very state dependent. Colorado's a good place to be for animal welfare in terms of, we don't, up in Fort Collins, they totally cracked down on sale of non-rescue animals in pet stores. So there's none of that up there anymore, and it's going to all be kind of area dependent in terms of that legislation. But Colorado's a good place to be in terms of folks, like you guys were talking about earlier. People love animals and they love adopting here, which obviously we love. So it's a good place to be. Other states are not so lucky in terms of where that legislation might be at, and there can be a lot more of that. Those puppy mill animals are always really cute, but comes at a health cost often to them and to those mama dogs. And absolutely.
Right. Here it even comes to regulation on how many pets you can have. But Colorado's always been enough. So they don't limit that.
That's good, though.
Pretty
You
low.
don't want
Exactly.
these hoarders.
Yep. I'm curious, when you're kind of teaming up people with pets, how do you match a person with a pet? Do you see any consistencies or personality types? What are you doing there?
Totally. I think you start to see some trends over time, There's always the trope of kind of the older lady who's looking for her little small dog to hang out on the couch with her. But we also see, I think, a lot of variety. I think I'm surprised every week by an adoption, and that's also one of my favorite parts of my job. But I'm very, like I said, conversation oriented. So if you were to come in today, I'd ask you, what are you looking for? Tell me about that. Get people talking a little bit, listen to kind of what they have to say or what they think they might want. So it's just, a process along those lines. Totally some trends, but I'm never able to totally guess what people end up going for when they adopt, which is fun.
I think most people are looking for real active, fun dogs, or I'd be the one who's just like, I just want someone to chill with me, like a pet to just sit and relax and watch TV with me.
Absolutely.
But do you find most people want real active, or?
I think we get a great blend. Definitely Fort Collins and down here as well. Like the whole Front Range is so outdoorsy and active. So we
Right.
get a lot of people that are looking for the dog that's going to be the runner and the hiker. So I definitely get a lot of those. And I get a lot of young families as well. So people with kiddos have a lot of energy. So they need a dog that has a lot of energy to keep up with them. So we totally get those. And I just had someone in yesterday who was also loved my sweet girl Layla that went home. She was like, oh, so much energy though. I just want someone to hang out on the couch with me, just like you said. So we definitely get, I think, a good balance of both. So typically always have something for everybody. It's great balance.
And you got to know the dogs that don't want to be around kids.
Exactly.
That aren't really good with them.
Yep, totally.
Maybe some older dogs.
Just part of that conversation part.
Yeah.
My dog's one of those dogs. I don't hold it against her too much.
What is the best way if somebody's listening in to, one, get the adoption process started? Is it the website? Is it calling? What's the best way? And then two, let's say they already have, they just adopted a dog, to want to go with the vaccines and make sure everything, what is the best way for them to do this?
Yeah. Our website, which you mentioned a couple times, savinganimalstoday.org, has kind of all the info you could ever want. So if you're just curious, who do we have available for adoption? It's always up to date with that list of adoptable pets. You can see Luther that we were talking about earlier on there. So that's always a great way to get started if you've been thinking about adopting. That updates every day. If you're a fanatic and you check every single day, there will probably be something new to see. So that's always a good place to keep an eye on. But if you're in the Westminster area or down here in the Denver area, just stop into our Everyday Adoption Center. Again, we're back in that PetSmart store. You can stop in any time. We love having people visit just for fun. And so maybe if you aren't thinking about adopting, but just want to see what's out there, you can always stop in and visit. And to our main shelter in Fort Collins as well. So visiting, I think, is always the most fun way to start the adoption process. But that website's a good starting point, too.
Definitely.
And
your Instagram page is really cute, too.
Yes, our social media team does an amazing job getting all of those. It's, one of the cutest Instagram pages out there, I gotta say.
What is that Instagram handle? I didn't look at it.
Oh, it's just kitties and doggies and, of course, just adorable photos.
Yep.
I'm curious, what are all the associated fees when it comes to adopting an animal?
Yeah, every animal will have an adoption fee, and what that fee is kind of varies depending on cats versus dogs, and then based on age is usually the biggest thing that it varies by. So we're a nonprofit and we're a private shelter, which means we're not government funded. So any kind of donations and contributions are how we are able to keep doing all the work that we do, and our adoption fees are part of that as well. And anyone adopted from us is spayed or neutered, they're microchipped, updated on vaccines. We test dogs for heartworm and start them on preventatives. We test cats for FELV and FIV. So all of that stuff, they've seen our vet team, all that's taken care of.
That's a lot,
so that's
too.
what's included in that fee.
That's great.
Beyond that, that's about it. Dogs need a leash and collar. Cats go home in a carrier. But there's nothing additional at the time of adoption.
And that chip goes a long way, doesn't it, Josh?
It does. It does. My parents had a little mini golden doodle who was taken from them, missing for 14 months.
Oh my gosh.
And finally dropped off at a dumb friend's. They called him. He's like, "We got your dog." 14 months of no grooming or anything. He looked like something out of Woodstock.
No kidding. It was so great to have him back.
It was.
So
it was.
great.
He's still back, and he's like a little over 3 years old right now. He was taken about a year and a half, I want to say, something like that. So really young.
It was devastating too. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, and always a reminder to everybody out there, always make sure that those chips are up to date. And there's sometimes where these chip companies are changed, they're sold, and something happens where you have to act
Yes,
to make sure that it's updated.
Yeah, you beat me to it. That's a great plug for microchipping. I mean, there's no better, I think, story for why it's important. It's always the thing you think won't happen, right? We all are like, well, it'll be totally fine, but it's always
just gotta run into the store really quick.
Exactly. It's always
exactly.
the weird one off. So yes, I mean, microchipping is part of it, but an unregistered chip is not a helpful chip. We see that all the time, unfortunately. We'll have, animals come in and we'll scan the chip, but there's no owner information associated to it. So not much you can do from there. So definitely log in, make sure your info is correct, and you change phone numbers. The microchip company doesn't know that, so you got to let them know. So
That's great
a big
advice, because
portion
it's
of
not
it.
just about getting the chip
Exactly.
Right.
planted.
That's something you can easily overlook when getting a new phone number, new address, all that fun stuff. And one day, hopefully, there'll be GPS. They just can't do that right now. That would be nice.
You can get a GPS collar. I know people who really live by those because the peace of mind is huge, but maybe it'll be integrated in the future.
Hopefully. It's really easy to just take off the collar, but that's the only unfortunate things about those. But you mentioned all these fees and everything are kind of donated to help you guys keep doing what you're doing. But on the website, people can just donate.
Absolutely.
Now. And so with all of these donations just helps run everything.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
All of those programs that I've mentioned, I mean, it's no small feat to feed all 350 animals in our care. So it just goes toward everything that we put into these guys and all of their vet care. We're also really fortunate that our vet team is amazing. They work so hard and they do so much. And they're always doing special stuff too, amputations, dentals. We treat dogs for heartworms. So some really expensive stuff that can rack up. I mean, those donations go such a long way to help in those extra special cases. So those are always really huge and just help us do what we do and keep animals healthy and in homes.
Yeah, I just saw that dental cleaning and extractions. There's a lot of services under
Yeah.
here that you
Yeah.
guys do. SavingAnimalsToday.org. And I'm curious, what are the names of your pets? You told me one of them.
Yeah, my dog's name is Squirrel.
Squirrel.
And my cat's name is Shadow. So an S theme going on.
Did you come up with Squirrel from that movie? What is that movie? Up? When the dog's just like, squirrel?
Yep.
That's how you came up with it?
I actually wish I could take credit. She came with the name and it fits her so perfectly, I couldn't possibly
And the
change
dodo
it,
bird was
but-
named Kevin. Wasn't that right?
Was it?
Yeah.
I mean, that fits. It makes sense.
Tell us again about the fun run. We were talking about that earlier.
Yeah.
That's October 18th at Odell Brewing Company in Fort Collins. Halloween themed live music by Sugar Bridges. Never heard of them.
Yeah.
How can we register for this fun run? Go to the website or
Exactly. That
Okay.
website we've been talking
Covers
about.
everything.
Yep, it's got all the info and how to register. It's a super fun event, so if you've got a free Saturday, not a bad way to spend it. Hopefully enjoy a little of the last good weather before you head into winter and run around, see some cute costumes. It'll be a super fun time.
I remember years ago doing the furry scurry
Oh, yeah, I
in
remember
Wash
that.
Park with my dog, and that was a lot of fun.
I bet that Halloween one, a lot of dogs participate as well. And,
Oh, yeah.
I bet the photo ops are just
Yep.
insane.
Oh yeah,
They're
especially with all the
endless.
costumes and stuff.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Excellent.
So register for it. And what kind of music is Sugar Bridges? I've never heard of that band. Do you know?
They're a local band up there, so they're
Okay.
they're super awesome. Lots of fun.
I think
Yeah,
I
they're
have
fun as
seen. I've heard the name. I think through White Rose Motor Oil or something. I think they played it. Just off the top of my head. But from what I remember, they looked pretty fun and entertaining, like a band with a sense of humor.
Right.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Costumes and whatnot. So, all right, looking forward to that. That's coming up October 18th.
You got
That's
it.
next Saturday. Yeah. Anything else we haven't covered? I mean, this has been so informative. I mean,
yeah.
what a great interview.
Perfect.
I mean,
Yeah, you guys have hit on it all. I'll leave my last plug for National Adoption Week. Again, that's
Okay.
coming up October 20th through the 26th. So I'll have some sort of adoption special or deal going on every single day of that week. It's a really great time to adopt, and even if you're not ready to adopt but know someone who is, put them on National Adoption Week because it's a great time to just spread awareness of how important it is to adopt and all the great options in your area. So it's a super fun week. We'll have all sorts of stuff going on, so definitely come check us out during that time. I think it's a pretty key time to get in on the deals.
Even if you just need a nice puppy or kitty fix. Right?
just go get,
Just
like
cuddle
she
for
said,
fun.
Cuddle
Exactly.
for
You
fun.
can always
go get your
cuddle for
cuddles.
fun.
Exactly. Well, Jacy, thank you very much for coming in.
Yeah, thank you very
Absolutely
much.
love it. If you did just catch towards the end of this, do know that it is going to be on our social media platforms for a month. YouTube, it'll be forever.
Okay.
And so, who doesn't love talking about dogs? Goodness gracious. I know our vice president is waiting to get a house before getting one, but she's looking forward to getting an animal. So,
So come visit us.
Yeah, I'm sure she.
Right.
I'm sure
do you have
she
any
will.
idea how many animals you have available right now?
Right now, just today, we have 7 adoptable dogs. And I'm light on the cats because they all got adopted. This keeps happening where people ask how many I have, and I say 4. Usually more than that. So we get new animals down at this adoption center twice a week usually. So there's always something new to see. But I got to say, that group of dogs that we just got in from our main shelter is so cute. So you gotta go say hi.
I would
check
have
them
expected
out.
more than
Yeah.
7.
We've done so we opened up at the beginning of July and we've done about 170 adoptions so far. So there's usually a good number in there, but we keep them moving. I can't keep
That's
them down
good.
there too long. They get adopted.
Yeah, that's good.
Right. When is the best days for people to check the sites, the updates on the sites for these animals?
I would say best times to come visit us are on the weekends and kind of like a midweek, like a Tuesday, Wednesday.
Tuesday, Wednesday.
Always good days to come see. There's never a bad day, but those are always lots of fun days for us.
Yeah, and again, check out the Instagram page, and I'm assuming there's a Facebook
Yep.
page as well.
Yeah, we're on all the social medias. Our Facebook is really great because we have all of our events on there, especially. So it's a great way to keep an eye on those events.
So follow them, definitely. Thank you very much. Savinganimalstoday.org for the people who are listening instead of watching. 970-484-8516. This is Jacy Stamps, manager at Everyday Adoption Center, which is brought to you by Animal Friends Alliance. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you guys so much for having me.
Yeah, definitely. Kev, we're going to be getting to you in a little bit, right?
Yeah, I'll be back in about 20 minutes.
All right. Well, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Have a wonderful Tuesday. And then do know that coming up later on today, we have another interview at 5:30, Learning RX for cognitive brain.
Oh, that's right.
Therapy,
that's
kind
a good
of
one too.
teaching the brain to learn better.
I could use
really
some of that.
Yeah, I could use a little bit too. I had a lot of fun in my 20s. So,
I fell off my bike a lot.
yeah, that's a good reason to do it. All right. And of course, stay tuned for Kev on the radio coming up here in less than 20 minutes.
All right. We'll
Nice
see you then.
mixed
Thank
music.
you again, Jacy.
Absolutely. Thank you guys.
You bet.
Thank you.